Hello everybody, it's SuffolkBlue, all the way from merry old England. How the devil are you? I hope you're well. Welcome back to Minecraft, welcome back to Direwolf, welcome back to the V for Variety server. Today we're not having a building day, we're having a magic day, or a mod day. I want to take us back to here. I'll explain what's going on around us in a second. If you remember last time we had a magic day, we were trying to look at distilling essence. And I had a plan in my head that we were going to be able to fill up all of these pipes and all these jars and all these things down here. Easy peasy with essence, not a problem at all. I wouldn't have to do anything, just put stuff in there and burn. Well, apparently not. This mod is far more advanced than that. It sort of knows what you're doing, and it doesn't let you do it very easily. What I planned on doing originally, let me come over to me, over to here. Let's take these out for now. We don't need a jar, right? I'll tell you what we will need. I'm going to take my tuning fork. Okay. So, if you look at these, just forget everything else that's happening in this room, and I'll talk about that in a second. Let's just pretend, if you remember last time... Oh, just to say, Ectovink's online, and so is Astral, so they're all over there doing their business. If you haven't checked out their channels, please go and do so. There are links in my description for all of the great stuff that they are doing. Now, if you remember last time, we had a situation where I had filters in each of these, all working very well. Well, the thing is, it doesn't work very well. It really doesn't. If you notice, we're getting a little bit of venting. Let's take these off. Yeah? So, we're having this sort of venting issue, and the reason being is that these pipes are cleverer than you think. They're not empty, really, after use. They sort of assign themselves to essentia. So for example, this little tool here, this essentia resonator, tells me what's going on in these pipes, tells me about the suction. At the bottom there you can see that this pipe has a suction of 62 vinculum, okay, which is the trap one, alright? This one has 62 vitum, or vitium, which means that these two don't like each other. You can't put essences together like that. This one's vitum, that's fine, and then this one is vitum, and then this one is vitreous. So these individual jars, okay, which contain essence, also have a suction, and that suction touches all the other pipes until it reaches a sort of another pipe with another type of essence in it. And at that point, you end up having this sort of venting situation going on. Let's just grab some labels and some jars, and we'll pop on. So then I tried something else. We'll pop on the individual labels, and you do that as I say. Just get a little vial, get 8 of the thingies, stick a pad in, get a sticky label in, and boom, there we go. Let's just do that really quickly on these, because we're going to need to have these done anyway. Take that off there, and we're just setting the filters for the individual essence, and that way only that type of essence can travel through those pipes. So there's lots of different pipes that you can have. Well, there's several different pipes you can use, not lots, but there's several. Let's get rid of that. And a little bit of Victus for the health. Oops, wrong thing. That thing. What's up? And we're just setting the filters. Now, so what I thought was, if I take this and I put the filter on here for just that pipe, surely does that not mean that the pipe is now empty for everything beyond it, because it can't, nothing else but vinculum in this one can come down here? Well, as you can see, oh, bit of lag, there we go. As you can see, no. What that does is it changes the suction of that pipe again, because if you look above here at 63 vinculum, Astral is sleeping. I can't sleep because I'm recording, so hopefully Ector can. Let's see if Ector's on, we'll be able to help. If not, I'll do it. But there we go. So you can see that even though these have got the filter on them, they're still only pulling vinculum, and that's a bit of a problem because we still have this issue with vitum. So okay, so if I do this one here, bearing in mind nothing has gone through these pipes, we haven't pumped any essence through these pipes, so I was a little bit confused. There we go, they've got their daytime sorted out. I'm a little bit confused as to how these have got anything in them, but again, this has got a suction, it's pulling things from here, so everything up to the next possible essence is this essence, and then before that, and before that. So it sort of means that you can't do this design that I wanted to do, which was just to have pipes, because I assumed originally that once an essence has gone through a pipe almost resets itself and becomes empty, just, with nothing in it. But it doesn't. So because it retains the last essence to travel through it, or the essence it's connected to, then it's sort of stuffed, really. Stuffed up that whole plan. So I needed to come up with something else. So I did a little bit of research, as you do. And what I found is that there are some pipes which can allow multiple essence to travel through them. And these pipes are buffers. And buffers can allow 8 of any type to travel through them. So let's get this set up. And I purposely not finished this off. Where's my little bag? I purposely not finished this off so that I can finish it off with you watching, and then I can sort of explain. Let's get rid of all of this. Get rid of it all. Rubbish. It's all rubbish. None of it works. Lovely. Is that all clear? I think that's all clear. So what we need are buffers all the way around, and you can see from here that buffers also have to have arcane bellows. And those arcane bellows give each buffer some suction, otherwise it has no suction at all. And you also have to set the pipes, and you see that little blue cap on the end of that pipe. That means everything from this buffer will travel into this buffer, which will travel into this buffer, and go around the network, all the way around every single pipe, which has its own particular filter on it. So let's go to the box. Let's go to our magic box. We don't need that right now. That and that. And all we need to do to start with is go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got an extra one spare, that's fine, and that will be the same for the bellows then. The bellows must be connected to the buffer. Oops, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. Excellent. So they're all connected now. They're not in sync like the others. It's a bit like a beating heart, if you notice. But these, when you start the game, these all start pumping almost exactly at the same rate. These ones obviously I've only just put in, so they're slightly different. Then we get our wand, and what we're looking for is the last blue one here. If I do a hold down shift and a right click, you hear that little squeaky noise? And you can see the little blue cap comes on. And that means that if the essence can't go anywhere down into the jar, it will go to the next buffer point across here. And then what we want to try and do, well, actually, let's do some burning. Now, I've got another thing to show you in a minute, and I'll show you that when we go upstairs. But we won't do that just for now. No, and no. Get rid of all of this. We don't need it. What have you got? You've got wheat. How much wheat have you got in here? We've got messer. That's empty. Okay, so mess is empty. So there's nothing in. Messer, sorry, is empty. So there's nothing in this one, so we'll be able to see that go in there easy peasy. And there's nothing in hunger, so actually this is the perfect one to burn. Right, let's first and foremost, let's close this valve at the moment. That's fine. Let's put it. Oh, I can pick it up. Let's pick up the wheat. Here it is. Lovely. Pick up the wheat. Let's put that in here and burn it. So off that goes. That begins to burn in the same way everything else is burning. And you can see that the flames is already going in there, the other one is going in there, and you can sit back and you can wait for all of these to burn individually if you wanted to. We haven't got any bellows on here. I could probably get some bellows on this furnace to make that go a bit quicker. I could also use aluminite to make it even faster, I think, but that's running quite nicely. So let's open up this valve, and already you can see through these buffers we have things occurring, and there we go. You can see that that's filling up automatically. I haven't touched it, I haven't got to sit there and pump it, and so is the messes. Alright, so it's sort of working, pumping its way through, a little bit of flames going in every time. Let's have a look down the system. Is anything broken? No, it's going through the system. It seems to be going through. 20. See? Already filling up. Works like a charm. Now, the other problem we've got with these is I have 48... Actually, there's more... I think there's 49 now that I've found. But I've got 48 jars here. But these are ordinary water jars. These are not void jars. And what that means is once they're full, everything sort of stops working. Yeah? Because all the essence, if it can't go in that jar because it's full, it'll go along to the next one. Well, obviously, once it reaches the end here, where does it go? Well, it will sit in this buffer and backfill by 8 all the way around, unless you can do something with it. Now, what I think we can do is we should be able to get some essence pipes, ordinary pipes. Nothing too serious here. We don't need anything else. Let's do that. I'll take that off in a second. Let's go around the back here. Beautiful. And let's turn you off. We can get rid of that. In actual fact, we can get rid of everything on this side. We don't need it. So that all goes away. Is that finished burning? Yes, it's finished burning, but it's still got some stuff going through it by the looks of it. 32. Yeah, see, that was 20. That was, bear in mind these were empty when we start. 44, 45. They're pumping up lovely. But now with this pipe on the end here, we will need to put a little... Does that work? There it is now. So now any additional essence will come back round, back into the original buffer, and then carry on round the circuit again. So with a bit of luck, we've sort of created an infinite loop. There are other ways you could do it. What you could have done, what I could have made, is an oblivion jar, which I would need to do a full ritual for. We haven't done rituals yet, but I could make an oblivion jar here, and anything which didn't go into its own jar would be destroyed by entering that oblivion jar. I really want to do that, to be fair, but even so, the next option up is to make void jars. Where's my Thermomicron? I can show you void jars. Oh, it's upstairs. Okay, well, let's just try another one. Let's do census. Oh, we've got some census in here, actually. We've got some lapis. Lapis is census. Let's burn it up. Off we go. And hopefully in census, which is over here, 15, there you go. So you see it's moving all the way through the system, even though this has just had fames put through it, 32. It's just had messes put through it, 64. That's full. That's full. So I wonder if messes is now travelling around this system. Don't know. But you can see the census is going through the system. Every one tick, every pump, and it pumps it all the way around and into its jar. All automatically, all I have to do is burn stuff. The next thing to do for this, really, is to get what I would class as a burn me chest upstairs with some pipes linked up, that essentially everything that I bring back every time I go out questing or whenever I'm doing whatever I'm doing, if I bring back stuff which has got, you know, essence as part of its makeup, so there's some stuff that you can't burn because it doesn't have any essence, but anything that I don't want, I could put in that chest. It would automatically go through the system, automatically get burned, split into its essences, and fill up automatically in the jar. The lag is, there is no lag, it runs quite smoothly. You can see it sort of pumping, and I've got plans for this in the big base. I want to put it right beneath this, you know, right below the central infusion altar thing that we're going to build, and then actually these jars will be up above us, but when we get to the new base I'll show you that. But there we go, that is our automatic pumping room, which does the pumping. But what do we do with all this? Well, we've got this messes over here, haven't we, that's now full, so let's change that over. I don't know whether we've got anything going through the system or not, but we'll take that jar out. Let's go and get another jar, water jar, and pop. Don't know if there's anything pumping around the system. If there is now, it would fill it up, but I can't see anything. But what we can take this jar over to here, to this thing here, which is the essence crystallizer. What the essence crystallizer does is that it takes liquid essence that we've just distilled and it turns it into a much safer form to handle, which is the crystallizer. We pop it down there and you can see these little things change colour, draws up its essence and begins to crystallize. Now, if I had a charged node, which we'll go into in a much later episode, but if I had a charged node, I could pump Terra energy directly into this crystallization machine, and it would work much faster. But what it's doing is it's taking messes from here, crystallizing it, and then spinning the messes out up here. And I'll show you upstairs what that actually looks like and what that means. But before I do that, I just want to put on a label for the other messes jar that we've just made. So I can take a slop of this, make the label, pop it back. Marvellous. Empty jar. Or file even, we can put that there. And bump. There we go. That's going to be ready for the next load. Let's get rid of these. We don't need these for what I'm going to show you. So there we go. That's what we've created. It's a circular system which will enable us never to have to worry about what we're pumping and getting the right essences. They will automatically fill up, and we'll have to look at whether we're using void jars. And there we go. There's the crystallized essence that it makes. Okay, 1. And the great thing about this essence, if I come down and if I throw that on the floor and I scan it, 1 messes. So that means whenever we're doing brewing, you know, the old alchemy upstairs, and we need a certain number. I should take that with me. we'll leave it. But we need a certain number of essence to do whatever alchemy we're doing. I can now be very precise in the measurements of what I'm putting in. So there's less chance of getting tainted, less chance of the gas and all that stuff. Let me show you something else that we have made off camera. So that's done now. We're not going to go back to that just yet. That's just going to keep pumping away. I'm going to show you the next thing that I've made. Again, we're not doing building today, so I'm not taking you outside to see that yet. That'll be the next episode. But look at this new room, the Digi-Clay 3000. That's what I've called it. The reason I've called it this is that I wanted a new building material for the outside base. We're using living rock at the moment. Whoops, we're using living rock at the moment. We're using marble. We're using all that stuff and sandstone and all the other bits and bobs. But I wanted a different material for the central tower. And the material I want is this stuff, which is bleached bone rock. Here it is, bleached bone rock blocks. Yeah, because look at the colour, it's railcraft, but I think that colour would really complement the living rock that we're using. And in order to get this great stuff, what I need is the clay. Bleached bone, let's have a look, bleached bone clay, here it is. To get that, you need clay and you need bone meal. Okay, those are the things you need to make bleached bone clay or beach clay. You then put that in the furnace and that will give you a whole block of the stuff, yeah, which you can then chisel. And look, you see we can have, like, you know, proper blocks. We can have the little blocks. We've got walls, stairways, you know, slabs, all the great stuff. So I thought that was a great material for the central cathedral, if you like, in the middle of our base. But in order to do that, I need lots of clay and I need lots of bone. So I had to make a solution to do such things as these. This machine here is the solution to the clay problem. It is a Digi special machine. In fact, let me just go and grab some dirt. Okay, mate. Oh, he just left. Let me grab some dirt. Let's just grab 64. That's all we need for now. Just dirt. And the Digi-Clay, one of Digi's machines. So here we go. Where does it start? Start at the bottom here. We have an igneous extruder. Now this igneous extruder is being fed lava from our lava pump that's in the nether, which is pumping both lava to our smeltery and to our magma dynamos. So it's our main lava feed, and that's getting lava from there. It's getting water from an aqueous accumulator, which is at the bottom there, surrounded by water. Okay, so that's all going on, and that's been set on cobblestone, so that's making cobble. Okay, that cobble will go straight from this machine straight up into this one, which is the pulverizer, which will pulverize this into sand. Okay, so it pulverizes everything into sand, and that will then come over to here, over the top system. See the top here? This pipe will take that sand over to here, and it will mix it. Well, let's just say it brings the sand to the induction smelter first, alright? Below the induction smelter is another pulverizer, actually, which is, all of this has stopped working because it's maxed out, but I'll change that in a second. Below here is a pulverizer which was pulverizing iron blocks, or iron ingots. That ingots was pulverized into iron, pulverized iron here, and was travelling up from the machine, into the induction smelter. When you have two of these and one sand and you smelt them together, you get 2 ingots back. So you're not losing any iron in this process. The process is completely circular. So for every iron you burn, you get one. Every iron you pulverize, you get 1 pulverized iron dust. So for 2, you get 2, and for those 2 plus sand, you get 2 back. So it's a completely circular loop. But there is a 25% chance, I think a 1/4% chance, that you will get some slag as a result of that. Okay, and that slag then travels into a liquid crafter here. And you can see the recipe. So 2 slag, 1 dirt, and some water, which is being supplied by the aqueous accumulator, will make 4 clay. And as you can see, this is pretty full. Let me take this out of here for now. Take some of this slag out. Just, we don't need all of that going in there. And you can see the system suddenly starts working again once I empty that slag out. Look at those. Look at that happen. All of those are shooting round. And where it's making slag, this is appearing in here. What I can then do is put some dirt in here, so that we can complete this recipe. And behind the liquid crafter, which I can't show you unless I'm a bat, so let me do that really quickly. Behind the liquid craft, the only way you make a liquid craft work is to put a redstone signal to it. So behind that, set on a 20-second interval, I have a timer. So it's not constantly making, it's sort of every 20 seconds it will pump out something, and it will pump out clay. So as it goes round, there we go, you saw that come down, there was the clay, and that is being pumped via a hopper at the bottom there into this iron chest, and there's our clay. So this system is making for me lots and lots of clay. And I can put back our slag in here, as much as I can fit in as possible. I'll leave those 2 out for now, these 3 even out. But there you go. And it just pumps them through the system, works very well. All the way through, and you can just see it's like a rotation. So the sand comes up around the top, dumped in there, the iron filing is going up into there, and then they're just going round a loop. And then at the bottom here, they're just being ground up. That's it. That's all there is to it, and that makes unlimited clay. The power is fed from our main furnace, room over there, the energy power station. But there we go, the Digi-Clay 3000. There is a whole episode 48, I think it is, but there's a whole episode on Attacking the B Team Digimasters channel on this particular machine, which is why I've dedicated it the Digi-Clay 3000. I would have put a statue of Digi in here as well because it is one of his machines, but we don't have statues mod, so I can't. But there we go. That's how we're getting our clay for our bleached blocks. But where are we getting our bones from? Well, now, here's the thing. How am I going to do this? Shall I break in here? Where's my wand gone? Did I leave my wand downstairs? Let me get my wand. I might want that for defence in a second. Or my bat, that's one, a bit short. Oh, caught my own door there. Right, down we go. Let's quickly go and grab my wand, and I'll talk to you about where we're getting our bone from. Now, obviously, I've had to make a spawner, because... Oops, what's wrong with you? Thank you. Have to make a spawner. Where's my wand? Here's my wand. Thank you. And I'm going to put on that one. Excellent. Up we go, back up the stairs. But I had to make a double spawner. I've made one, well, I'll show you. Let me go in there and I'll turn it off, and then I'll show you what I've done and how it's working. Flick the switch. Just come back for a second. Just in case there's going to be a skeleton come out of here in a second. I don't think there is. Excellent. Okay, I think that's there's the door now. Let me take you in the killing chamber. So I made a little room, and I've made an auto spawner. The auto spawner has got a safari net captured skeleton in there. Alright, and obviously it needs essence and energy. Well, the energy is coming again from the main, from exactly the same furnaces, the magma dynamos that we need, that we use for everything else. So there's the auto spawner. That's our skeleton spawner. Alright. Then we've got over here the grinder. The grinder is literally just grinding these things up, and will be pumping out the items into the chest that's around here. Okay. But you can also see within this chest we've got some other items that are coming through. We've got some ethereal essence. The reason for that is that I had a broken wisp spawner, and I thought to myself, well, I know what I need. There's not enough essence, you know, going into this to be able to keep it running perpetually. It always runs out of essence and just stop. So what I need is sort of a non-essence run spawner, which can create some mobs to kill me ground up, and that essence can then help feed this, so that every other mob or whatever might be a skeleton, and that is where we get our bones from. Now, to make one of these powered spawners was actually a bit of a task. A powered spawner. Here we go. So we needed a Z logic control. This is Ender.io, all this stuff. A vibrant crystal, 2 vibrant crystals, electrical steel, a machine chassis, and a head, basically. And that gives you the powered spawner. So the vibrant crystal was just an emerald and some alloy nuggets. And this alloy is actually made just by an energetic alloy and an ender pearl and an alloy smelter, which obviously is just redstone, gold, and glowstone. Okay, easy peasy. So a couple of those, that's fine. The Z logic controller is a bit of an interesting one. I had to use the slice and splice. In actual fact, I used Digi slice and splice because I didn't have one otherwise. So I haven't made one, so I used Digi's. But effectively, we need some silicon, which is just some ground up sand, redstone, a zombie head, solarium, which is soul sand and gold in an alloy smelter. Easy peasy, and that gets you your Z logic controller. The machine chassis is just a basic capacitor, which looks like that, and some iron bars and stuff. So that was easy peasy. And then you end up with a powered spawner, which you then put on an anvil along with a broken spawner, and the spawner I used was Wisp, because I thought to myself, well, actually, what I need, if I'm killing 2 things where I'm getting stuff that I need, that kind of solves the problem for me. Like, it's got two birds with one stone, isn't it? So if I'm getting bones and I'm getting ethereal essence, so that's pretty fantastic. But this spawner is obviously powered. It's got a redstone switch on the lever on there for redstone activation, and it's powered here. Again from the main power of the base. So this will generate wisps. Those wisps will get ground up, create essence that goes into the mob spawner here, auto spawner here, sorry, and that will create skeletons who in turn will be killed. Their essence will go into the system too, and their items and all the items will get spat out here. So we've got bone, which is what we're looking for, which what we really want is the bone. But we also get other stuff. We get some of these bows, which are not so useful. We get lots of essence. We also get these uncommon treasures, which are quite cool. But I made an extra utilities bin so that I could just get rid of the bows because I don't really use them. I'm keeping the arrows. I can get rid of this slag as well. I'm keeping the arrows, obviously keeping the bones because I'm using that. But these treasures are quite good as well. There's another Thaumcraft thing, is that you can click these and you get stuff. And on this one, I got, what does that set all my stuff around? I got an apprentice ring of Peditio, which is nice, a potion of invisibility, a diamond, 12 Thaumcraft coins, leather boots. I think probably came off the skeletons, I would have thought. Let's just get that right. It sort of moves everything around when you do that. My baubles, I'm already wearing an air discount and a terror discount ring, which I found in bags as well. And I got this, a Vistone, which is slowly recharging my wand without me having to do anything, which I think is pretty cool. So I was quite pleased to get those. But once I get them, let me just get rid of those boots because I'm not going to use them either. Marvelous. So we get the bone from there, and then what we do, easy peasy, is we remember to pulverize the bone. The reason we pulverize the bone, and I can put it in there as well, is that for every one we pulverize, we get six bone meal, which is more than you get if you were to do it just in your hand. So we let that pulverize down, and then we mix it with the clay, shove it in a furnace, and we will get our building material. And as I say, I think compared it to living rock and looking at it, it will make a nice contrast to the central cathedral area. Before we get to the tower. Now the tower, I haven't decided whether I'm going to make it from living rock or whether I'm going to make it from marble. It might be that I have a marble tower that stretches all the way up, but I need to look at that in a creative world and see how those three stones all look together in sort of chunks like that. But certainly the central cathedral I'd like to make out of this bleached bone stuff. Now let me also show you, whilst I'm here, it's turned off, down we come. Let me go into bat mode, it'll be easier. This is the gubbins behind the scenes. Alright, so this is all the stuff going on behind the scenes. This is our lava pipe, again, coming from our main lava feed in the nether. And this is actually powering some magmatic dynamos. Now, in these dynamos, I've already given them the augments, the top level augments. So this is already being able to produce, if it had to, 640 redstone flux per tick. And there's two of them doing that. So I can generate, 1280 redstone per tick if I need to. And that goes straight into the powered spawner. So actually the powered spawner is being helped by these two dynamos. If I go up here, oops, I forget, because if you're a bat, you have to aim up. There we go, let's go up. That's the spawner. Didn't quite go across enough. But behind here is some tanks which can hold the stuff, the essence, sorry, which comes through here. That can all be held. In fact, if I turn the system back on again, oh, why you be difficult today? Go the old-fashioned way, then. There we go. Let's turn this on and get out of the way quickly. So flick the switch. That's now powered. Oops, you saw and there's the wisps already appearing. The grinder does its business. Should do its business anyway in a second. Oops, there it goes. The grinder then will give me through here. There you go. You can see it moving through the pipe. And a little piece of essence. In this case, an air essence. There's been another one. And another one. And every time that they kill, you see they're quite regular. And every time they kill through, a little bit of essence is pumped through the system, so that hopefully very soon you'll see a skeleton will be spawned. But let's come down here anyway, and I'll show you what's going inside. So there's the essence travelling through the pipe, yeah? Where's my... I don't want to use the wand because the wand's being a pain. So here... Oh, she tried to swim in lava, that's never good. But there you go, you can see the essence comes in, and it creates its next copy. We're not making exact copies, but you can see that every time they get killed, it goes into the auto spawner, and we end up with a skeleton, which we then kill and hopefully get some bones. That's what we're looking for, remember, is bones. I don't really want to go up there today, so we're going to go this way instead. Did I get the dirt? Obviously use that for something. Up. But there you go, and that's the auto spawner, and that just carries on running, and we end up with, you know, bits and pieces. And yeah, there's some stuff in here we don't need, and we throw that away. So that's the auto spawner. That was the powered spawner that we did, the Ender.io powered spawner. It sort of runs on its own. It's got a chunk loaded, so I can go off. I can leave it running overnight. You can see the bone that we've got through here. And we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go and grab some clay from the Digi-Clay 3000. I'm back again, aren't I? I don't like that. Up. 1, 2, 3. And there you go, bleached clay, 64 bits. So this whole machine, these whole rooms, if you like, are just designed to enable us to get the right building materials for the central cathedral. We need quite a lot of them. If I just pop this in the furnace, and then I'll show you the colour match between the two, because I think, as I say, when you look at it, you'll agree with me that it's such a nice colour. Here we go. Let's just take that out for now. And as I say, it can be chiselled, but straight away you can see that the two are pretty. They're light coloured. See, look at that. It's lovely. It's a good set of colour. I like. It's actually a little bit harder to break than the living rock. Slightly tougher as a material. But there we go. So we just cook them up. I've got my really fast furnace here, which as you can see, has been augmented right up to the time flux unifier, so it cooks very quickly, which is very handy. The only other thing to say is that in the powered spawner, which is in here, that powered spawner over there, inside that is another chip. We made a capacitor to go in there to make it a bit quicker, so you can upgrade those Ender.io things too, and I can show you what I mean here. This is the top spec one, which is the machine upgrade, which increases energy storage and speed. The problem with this one was that it just ran me out of energy so quickly. We were pumping energy, you know, RF ticks into this machine like you wouldn't believe. So I took it down a notch to, if I go to capacitor, I'll show you. Capacitor. There it is, double layered capacitor. All right, and basically that just sort of does half as much as the octadic capacitor does half as much. Alright, so that sort of works for us. It's basically how we're getting the next set of our materials. Next episode we'll be doing a building, and I'll show you that you can see, if I go on, I'm not going to go outside, but you can see that the walls have really come on, we've really pulled them together, and I've got a little extra special treat on there as well for you, for when you come back. But there we go, that's that done, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to leave a like. Also, please make sure that you do check out all the other players on the server, the people like Astral, the people like Ectovink as well, you know, Digi's on here, Redstone Junkyard, they're all on here. Go and have a check. You can see all the names in my description, click on them, subscribe to their channels and watch their content too. But until next time, which will be a building episode, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye!